guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make this super cool DIY Percy Jackson inspired Camp Half-Blood necklace. These are the materials you're going to need: pliers, scissors, air dry clay, and I use the Crayola brand, leather cord, and I'll put links down in the description. I have a small nail polish brush, but you can just use any thin brush. Some super glue, I use the Elmer's brand. I have gold glitter paint, but you can just use regular gold paint. I also have some acrylic paints and Mod Podge. These materials are optional. I have some gloves, magnetic clasps, but you don't have to use these, you can just tie your necklace together, puffy paint, and again, you don't have to use these, you can just use regular paint. To start off, I'm just going to take a little bit of clay and I'm going to roll it around in my hands. The clay usually takes about 24 hours to dry, so I recommend doing this in the morning and then going to bed and then waking up and painting it again. The size of my bead is about 1/2 inch, but you don't have to make it that size. Now I'm just going to take a toothpick and poke a hole through it, and while it's still on the toothpick, I'm going to shape it some more because when you poke a hole, it just gets disfigured. Now I'm going to take it out and then I'm going to poke it from the other end, and then I'm going to jiggle it around because my leather cord is a little bit thicker than the actual toothpick. I'm going to smooth out my edges with my fingers. You're going to make 6 more of these beads. For my SPQR bead, I used a combination of these 4 colors, 2 blues and 2 reds. I'll put names down in the description. For the letters and branches, I use this gold glitter paint, but you can use regular gold paint. The next bead is the Trident, and for this I used black acrylic paint for the background, and then I used a combination of dark blue, light blue, and light green puffy paint, 2 parts light green, 2 parts light blue, and then 1 part dark blue. And you don't have to use these paints, you can just use regular paint. To draw the Trident, I'm just going to show you on paper because when I originally made the necklace, I didn't think about filming it and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it just looks like what it is on the paper, and it kind of looks like a fork, like a 3-pronged fork, so you're just going to draw that. For the golden fleece bead, I used a combination of a dark blue and a light blue, and I just mixed that with some white paint to make the light blue background. I used a gold paint to paint on the golden ram, and then I used the black paint to outline it and then draw any details. This is how I drew my golden ram for my bead. It's kind of confusing to explain, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch it and then you can pause it if you need to. Yes, I know there was not a bead during the Titan's Curse because it was in the winter, but I just wanted to make an honorary one for the hunters. I think this is one of the easiest beads to make. It is just a white background with a black design. For this design, you're just going to draw a regular arrow, and then you can add the little tail thingies to the back. The bow is just a really fancy looking C, and then the string is a small slight curve. For the Labyrinth design, I used a combination of black and white to make the gray background, and then I used blue puffy paint to make the maze design. The design on the labyrinth looks pretty difficult, but it's actually pretty easy. You just start with a big circle, and in the middle of that you draw a C, and then in that C it kind of looks like an S, and then on the north and south ends there's little lines, and you just draw another line around. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just looks like what I'm drawing. For this bead, I used black acrylic paint for the background, and then I used gold for the Empire State Building. The design on this bead is fairly simple. You just draw a whole bunch of rectangles. I drew 3, and then the top one is just a long skinny triangle. And then I'm just adding dots for the windows. You don't have to if you don't want to. I think this is the easiest of the beads. I used a combination of red and yellow to make orange, and then I used the black to make the letters CHB. Once all your beads are dry, you just want to use some Mod Podge and paint them as kind of like a protective cover. When you're stringing your beads on your cord, you want to cut the end of the cord at an angle so it's easier to put your beads on. So once your Mod Podge is dry, if you didn't buy any magnetic clasps, you can just stop here and tie your necklace together. But I'm just going to show you how I put my necklace together. What I did is I kind of bent my cord and put it in like a loop through my clasp, and then I just dabbed some super glue on it, and then I held down the other end for about 15 seconds, and then you're just going to let that dry for an extra 30 seconds. You're going to do the same thing to the other side of your necklace. Right here I'm just showing you how to work the magnetic clasp. All you do is you just twist it, and then that exposes the magnet, and then you can just use the magnet. And there you go, guys. That is how you make a Percy Jackson Camp Half Blood necklace. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Bye!